All right, today I'm going to show you my top 10 list of some of the best fifth pocket small everyday carry knives. Now, I not only found a bunch of little knives which fit perfectly in that pocket, but everything I'm going to show you, budget priced and very affordable. Now, the beauty of the fifth pocket is that it's kind of separate from your main front pocket. So like anything that you put in there, it's not going to come in contact with whatever else you happen to be carrying around for the day, which makes it just like the perfect place for these tiny little knives. For a knife to make this list, okay, it has to have a blade length under 2.9 inches and cost around like $65 or less. So that means a knife like the Spyderco Native 5, not on the list. As usual, I'll go ahead and include links to any of the knives that I show you here today down in the description below. And that's just in case, like if you see something that you like. Hey, how you doing? If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. My name is Jay. Go ahead and consider clicking on that subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews to get right to the point. All right, let's get this started with number 10 from ABKT. I've got the Shadow Hornet. Not that it really matters much for a knife this small, but the action it's actually pretty good. The HCR13 MOV blade, it is in fact riding on a ball bearing pivot. So yeah, of course, that's part of the reason why the action is what it is. I mean, and looking at that blade, check that out. That is just a good looking hollow ground, 2.5 inch coated blade. And did you see it has a full like forward finger choil, which means that I'm able to fit like all of my fingers here on this G10 handle. And on that nice drop point blade, we do get a really fine tip that is in fact just excellent for like piercing. Really, my only issue here with the Shadow Hornet is going to be this, the pocket clip. It's one position, tip up, but that's for righties only. Yep, no love for us lefties, but you could even take off the pocket clip and then just, you know, if you just drop it in your pocket loose, hey, no harm, no foul. Next up is a knife that rarely do I leave the house without it. At number 9 from Victorinox, it's the Swiss Army Midnight Mini Champ. There is a lot to like here. I mean, it has 16 functions that they were able to pack into this little thing that's about 2.3 inches long. And I just love how like one of the tools listed is the key ring. The feature that I use by far the most, yep, is going to be that LED flashlight. I mean, I use that thing a couple times a day. Then I would say it's probably followed by, let's see if I can do it. Yeah, it has a like a retractable, there's a retractable ballpoint pen. I would say I use that. That's probably second most. The 1.25 inch blade, not so much. And unless, of course, you know, like I forgot my primary carry when I left the house. My only issue here, and I completely understand, you know, why they made it this way, but I wish that, okay, I wish that that light, that it like clicked on and off. Instead, you know, you have to hold it down, but that makes sense, you know, because I don't want you to wear out the battery, like just in case you forget to turn it off. But mainly, like if I'm holding it in, like in my right hand, which we know, you know, because of my disability, my right hand doesn't always want to cooperate. So when I'm trying to like hold this in my right hand and keep that light button depressed, oh yeah, you're talking, that's practically impossible for me because it just adds a whole nother level of difficulty to it. But hey, you know what? That's my issue to deal with, not Victorinox's. Coming in at number 8 from Kershaw, everybody knows this knife, right? It's the Cryo. So what do I like? Well, this is probably the most inexpensive Hinderer design that you can buy. And it's a great value at like around $30 because Kershaw, I mean, they really do, they give us a lot for our money. Like, for example, a stainless steel frame lock. And check that out. Yeah, there's actually an over travel stop. Let's not forget about, we get, we get a 4-position pocket clips. You can put it pretty much wherever you want. Multiple deployment options with either using the flipper tab or the thumb studs. One thing I appreciate as a lefty is that lock bar. It can tolerate pressure, so I can go ahead and rest my thumb on there if I need to. And check that out. Yeah, that 2.75 inch blade still fires. I don't think I mentioned it, but the steel, it is 8CR13 MOV, and you can see that that blade is, it's a hollow grind, which makes it, oh yeah, it's excellent at piercing and slicing. There is a couple things that I don't like though, and one of my issues, well, being that since this is, okay, it's the largest knife on this list, but it's also, the heaviest, coming in around 3.9 ounces. The next issue, now it's not necessarily one that really hurts my feelings, but I know that there is a lot of you out there that just do not like that SpeedSafe assisted opening. At number 7, this is the first from CRKT. It is the large Pilar. I really like the overall design with that. Look at that. Check out that good looking. That's about 2.6 inch sheep's foot blade. And this is the D2 steel version. So that's going to run you about $55. Just like the Cryo, we get multiple deployment options. So you can either go ahead and use that thumb hole or the flipper tab. And we also get that, of course, the stainless steel frame lock. Really just a couple of minor issues that I have, being that I think for $55 that CRKT, I honestly, they could have sprung for bronze washers. They could have thrown those in instead of just giving us the Teflon ones. Number 6 is going to be another CRKT knife. Oh yeah, you're looking at the squid. Here's another frame lock with stainless steel construction and that's a 2 1/4 inch hollow ground 8CR13 MOV blade, and yes, it's an excellent slicer. I am probably a little bit too excited about this next feature, but I just love that these thumb studs, the size of the thumb studs, because they're easy to get at, and I think, on a knife this small, that's really important. And we get all of those features at the ridiculously low price of $20 for this thing. A couple things I don't like. I mean, this little tank it's heavier than it should be, coming in around 3.5 ounces. And since we're looking at only a 3-finger grip on the 3.5 inch long handle, I know it's stainless steel, but I wouldn't mind some more traction. Then again, could always go ahead and pick up aftermarket scales. All right, here we go. Home stretch, number 5 from Spyderco. Oh yeah, that's the Dragonfly 2. Lots to like here. I want to start with the VG10 steel blade because I'm a big fan of VG10. It has a good balance between like good corrosion resistance and really nice edge retention. And of course that ridiculously thin blade stock, makes this an amazing slicer. I know it sure doesn't look like it at first, but I can fit all of my fingers, look at that, perfectly on this handle. Well, that's one of its defining features. And let's not forget, we get a 2-position pocket clip. So for righties and for lefties, that is going to be just a tip up and super lightweight. Ready for this? At a whopping 1.2 ounces. My biggest issue here is going to be with the price. It's the most expensive one on the list, coming in at around $65, $66. Is that too much money? That depends on, that's up to you. And I guess it depends on how you look at it. But consider this, okay? So with this blade, you're looking at an actual 2 inches of usable sharpened edge. Factor in the price, and what's that? A little over $30 per inch. Number 4 from Tangram. I've got the Amarillo. Now, even with, the ball bearing pivot that the blade is riding on, it is still just, it's way too light for it to ever really, if you really shake it, you can get it to drop. But the opening action is phenomenal. It's excellent. I mean, watch this. I cannot fail the deployment no matter how hard I try. We also get a really good looking 2.8-inch flat ground clip point in a Cuticle 440 steel. It is really nice to see that they included a 2-position deep carry pocket clip, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. Oh, yeah, there you go. Right about there. Yeah. Skeletonized liner. All that for $24. My only dislike is because of how far back. So when I'm gripping the handle, how far back that my hand has to sit away from the blade means that I can only get, with my medium-sized hand, I can only get a 3-finger grip on this 3.6-inch long G10 handle. Number 3 from K-Bar, I've got the Mini Dozier. Not only is this the cheapest knife on this list at $16, but it also happens to be the lightest. You ready for this? 1.1 ounces. Yeah, that, my friends, is lighter than the Dragonfly 2. Because of this very simple a 3.5-inch Zytel handle design, okay, I can choke like all the way up, like really close actually to that blade, which means I'm almost, actually, no, I can fit all 4 of my fingers. I really like that we're able to use just about all of that sharpened edge, which makes this 2.5-inch hollow ground Aus 8 blade, it just makes it seem even larger. A couple minor issues. The first being the pocket clip. I mean, at least it is a 2-position for righties and lefties, tip up, but it just kind of rides a little bit shallow in the pocket. I mean, if you take off the clip anyway, then I guess it doesn't matter. All right, we're almost home, guys. Number 2, I've got from Cold Steel. You're looking at the Tough Light. This 3.75-inch Grivory handle, I'm going to tell you right now, is it gives me like one of the most comfortable grips I have ever experienced. I mean, once you get this thing in hand, it is almost impossible to like not want to like go out and run around and look for stuff to cut. Oh, and you better believe that once you do find what you want to cut, this 2.5-inch long hollow ground Aus 8 blade is going to tear right through it. What don't I like? Well, for starters, they did give us, it's a 2-position clip, but that position is just tipped down. Yeah, on both sides. Again, if you take off the clip, it doesn't matter anyway. Now, I don't know if my example is the only one, but okay, with the thumb hole, the right-handed side is chamfered very well. The left-handed side, though, the side that I'm of course going to use, is not, and it's rather sharp. So I don't know if maybe just mine missed that step on the assembly line or something. But, let me know, for those of you that have this, if you're experiencing the same issue. All right, are you ready to see my number 1 favorite 5th pocket small everyday carry knife? I've got the Odium from Civivi. I love almost everything about this knife. I mean, the blade shape, the action, the multiple deployment options, the generous sized forward finger choil, even those really nice, like chamfered G10 scales. Oh, they did a good job. All right, I got to bring in my Elementum to go ahead and make this point, but I love the fact that, you know, they didn't just go ahead and slap on like the same sized clip that you have on smaller knives like the Elementum or the Duras. So if you look at that, they actually created like a smaller clip for a much smaller knife. What a concept. Why doesn't everybody do that? All right, now it's your turn. I have shown you my list of fifth pocket, small everyday carry knives. What would your list look like? And if you don't have 10, hey, that's okay. Just put as many as you possibly can, but go ahead and list them all down in the comments section. Right about now, you should be looking at, there's 2 videos up on the screen. One is a video that YouTube is recommending of mine that you should watch next. The other is gonna be a link to my playlist of all of my top 10 lists. I know, there's a lot on there. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you got like any value from it, do me a favor, let me know by leaving one of these. Oh yeah, I got knife beater hats for sale. Email me, thenifebeater@gmail.com. See you guys next video. Take care.